Welcome to another Sunday morning conversation, everybody. This morning, my guest is Oliver Pritchard, and he is a deaf runner and triathlete. So if you ever really wanted to know how that works for racing or training, this would be a good episode to tune into. Thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoy it. If you like it, please do hit the thumbs up, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm all very well. How are you?
Another day in the life, man. Another day in the life.
Yeah, sorry, it took me a while because the Wi-Fi decided to play off at this time, which is annoying.
That's all right. I just dropped a full cup of coffee, so we're both yeah. It's empty. Oh well. How have you been?
I'm all good. Just a little bit tired from all the training today, but other than that, I'm all good. How are you?
Good. Now, do you sign too?
Yes, I do.
So, we have ASL over here. Do you have like the identical thing over there, or do you have your own thing?
So ASL is American Sign Language.
Yes.
We have the BSL, which is the British Sign Language, but also we have this thing called SSE, which is like the English speaking grammar of sign language, if that makes sense. So for an example, BSL, you would say what my name, Oliver, is for some reason, but it's easier for the hands to move. Where for SSE, you'll say my name is Oliver. Whereas in America, it's all one hand sort of sign language, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I actually had a really good friend that I went through college with who double majored in ASL and deaf ed.
Okay, that's quite cool.
Yeah, and then he went into the Navy, which is like, what did you just do all this for?
Yeah, it could be useful somehow, one way or another.
So what's it like being a deaf runner?
Being deaf, I haven't actually been asked that question before.
Really?
I personally love being deaf because I feel like it makes me a better person than who I was if I was hearing, because of all the challenges that I had to face in life. I feel quite proud of being deaf.
Yeah, I get it. I suffered a traumatic brain injury when I got hit by a car, and I honestly am a better person now than I was then. I actually help people a lot more, and I'm more altruistic. Kind of like part of my YouTube channel is raising awareness for traumatic brain injuries. So, I definitely, since I suffered my TBI, I understand you, or I help others more, and I'm a better person.
Yeah, because one thing it does kind of annoy me is when people are like, "Oh my God, you're deaf." How do you? I know I'm deaf, but I know.
Now, do you have a cochlear implant? Is that what or do you use a hearing aid?
Cochlear implant, which is connected to the cable, which is plugged into the computer, which is what I'm hearing you from.
Okay. Now, in everyday life, you don't use the implant. You just kind of go about, without.
No, so I have to have my cochlear implant because it's my hearing device. So without the cochlear implant, I can't hear a single thing. So if I take it off, I'm 100% deaf, as in can't hear a thing, best sleeps ever because nothing can disturb me. Babies crying, I won't hear them. So it is really nice in that sense. But when I put the cochlear on, that makes me what I can hear. So whatever sounds that's around me, my computer in my head will say, "Oh, that sound makes this, that sound makes that," and then those sounds come together, compress into my brain, and says, "This is what it made."
Okay. Now, you don't run with it though.
Yes, I do.
You do?
Apart from deaf competitions, no.
Oh, okay. I thought if I were to run with it, I would just kind of tune everybody out. How often do you do deaf competitions?
I've only done 2. I'm new to the deaf competition because I've been doing the hearing all body sort of side. But for the deaf competitions, to make it more fairer, everyone can't have their hearing devices.
I mean, how much is it of a competitive edge to have the implant?
Well, if you had a coach on the side, they could speak to you and you can sort of understand what's happening. But if everyone goes quiet, it just makes it, I don't know what the competitive edge is, but it's just to make it fair, because some people aren't that fortunate and can't have cochlear implants and hearing aids and stuff.
Okay, I was gonna say, even if like you could hear a coach, it's a very fleeting moment because you're running by. You're only gonna be able to get off a sentence or two.
But the interesting thing is you can't hear if anyone's behind you, so you always have to look behind to see.
Ears facing forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so you have to look behind just to see whoever's running behind you and stuff, and it's quite interesting in the deaf world. And also, sign language makes it so easy to interact with other people in different languages. So I've got friends who are German, Spanish, Lithuania, Norway, just from competing, and you just literally sign to them and everyone can understand you.
So there is some kind of, at least, I guess, uniformity to languages where you can understand each other, to where similar signs mean certain things.
It's no, there's no uniform sign language, as in there isn't just one
Well, I get
language.
that, yeah.
But it's all hands, body language, and so an example, if you say run, it's kind of obvious. You can just move your arms like a running, so that you can tell that means running, and then 3, and then do that means triathlon. So people can talk to each other, and then obviously if you say good morning to each other, everyone has their own different ways. So Italians is that, Germans is that, as in like the sunrise coming above sea level, and we have good morning in England. So everyone you can quickly gather it all.
Okay, I get it. It's kind of like hearing thing where I could read Spanish a little bit, at least make out the words because of some similarities.
Yeah, there is a few similarities, but it's not, you can open a book and exactly know what's happening.
Okay. Now, you're a triathlete as well, or you're just a runner?
Triathlete.
Okay. So what's that like doing a triathlon where, you can't have the implant when you swim. You have to put it in transition, don't you?
I don't, but you can. I sometimes, well, I know this is naughty of me, but I feel like it wastes too much time faffing about trying to put the implant on. So I do the whole triathlon without hearing.
Hey.
Because obviously for a swim, you can't have it on because it's not waterproof. And then on the bike, you have the aerodynamic helmet, which can interfere with the cockpit because you have to make sure it's in the right place on the helmet. But if it doesn't, it can just rub and make noises and doesn't sound nice.
And you can lose fussing with that transition.
Yeah, so then obviously we've done the swim and the bike. There's no point putting it on for the run. So I just go, screw it, and just run the whole thing without hearing as well, get to the finish line, and then put it on. And then speak to people.
Sorry, have you done an Ironman?
I haven't done Ironman.
Do you plan on it?
I'm sticking to the sprint, staying to the sprint stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at least work your way up to the 70.3. 70.3 is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, but I just don't know how I can do a half Ironman a half marathon after there's some solid swim cycle yet. I don't think I have the mental game to run for a long time.
It's really not that long. I mean, on average, somebody's about 2 hours. I think mine's around an hour 48. There's some walking in there if you have to. I've only had one half Ironman where I didn't have to walk a little bit.
It's true, but I'm a sprinter, sticking to the sprint sort of side.
Okay. Well, that's fun. I mean,
Now, do you listen to music at all with the bone conducting headphones?
Yeah, I listen to music.
How is that?
So, um, actually really good. It's basically the same as people wearing headphones, Bluetooth headphones and whatever. So we can have the same similarities in that. And I listen to Radio 1 all the time when I'm training on my bike, just because I can zone off and just concentrate on the bike whilst listening to music or Radio 1. It works really well.
Do you use the waterproof ones to swim, or you don't need them at all to swim?
Swimming, as it's not waterproof, I have to go in to every single session without hearing a single thing. So every swim I do, I can't hear. And it gets really awkward because when you have people in the same lane as you trying to speak to you, I have no idea what they're saying to me. So I just have to guess.
You've never been able to pick up how to read lips? I heard that's not really as accurate as people say.
I can do lip reading, but when people mumble or have beards, funny enough, that's a quite big area. Having beards, mumble, different accents, movements in their mouth can sort of make it really hard for me to understand.
Okay.
But a lot of people I swim with, I tell them that I can't hear, so they understand. But new people who I haven't swam with don't understand because I haven't told them.
Mm. So when did you get your implant?
On my 4th birthday.
Okay. And that's
so a very young age.
Is that when you started to learn how to speak as well, or did you learn earlier than that?
When did I learn how to? I was late to speak. I know that for sure. But I think I spoke before having my cochlear, as in I had hearing aids.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact how old I was, but I did have hearing aids before a cochlear implant. But I need to have cochlear implants because my hearing loss was significantly broken beforehand.
Mm. And it's only in one ear?
Both.
Both. Okay. I've never known the inner workings of how a cochlear implant functions, so it's all new to me.
It's fascinating. It even fascinates me, and I'm the one wearing the cochlear implant. So I don't know if you can see it. So when I take this off, I can't hear. So hopefully you can see it through the camera. So that's the device that I wear. So that see-through bit is the bit that goes around my ear. Mm-hmm. And just above it, there's 2 dots, which is the microphone input. So obviously when I'm wearing it, anything that comes forward, I hear it. So all the sound slowly goes up to here, which is connected to my brain, sends signal waves to my head and says, that's the noise. I can hear you now.
What were you surprised to find out made a sound that you didn't know made a sound? Like I once knew a deaf guy through my friend in college. He said when I got my cochlear implant and I farted for the first time, I didn't realize it made a sound.
Oh, what, when you turn it on?
Yeah. I mean, because he got his later in life, so he didn't realize that you pass gas, it makes a sound.
Yeah, so there's a few sounds that's built into the cochlear implant. So you have, there's 4 different settings, and to tell the different settings, it has a different frequency of beats. So if you want it on setting 1, it beeps once, setting 2 is beat twice, 3 beeps 3 times, 4, so on and so. And there's also a different way of beeping noise, telling you that your battery is about to die as well. So you can hopefully change your cochlear batteries before it dies out in an awkward situation, which has happened several times to me.
I could see how that happens. I mean, it's kind of like any other device when you lose the power or forget to recharge it. So what do you do then once it dies and you're in the middle of something?
You just gotta pray and hope for the best, pretty much, or run away and quickly find spare batteries and run back to the situation.
What is the most inopportune time that it has went out on you?
Oh. I would say, or this might be, so I was on holiday once and I was chatting up a girl and it went then. So that was quite awkward.
Okay, that's definitely at the top of the list.
Yeah, that was really awkward, but she understood, which was nice, but it took me a while to tell her.
Now, where are you at in the UK?
Do you know much about the UK?
Vague idea. I mean, I know where London is. I know where Manchester is. I mean,
Okay, if you've got London straight, if you draw a line from London straight down to the coast, I'm sort of halfway.
Okay. Now,
And where about you?
I am in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm in Southeast United States, which we call the Deep South.
Yeah.
I'm not from the Deep South. Otherwise, I would have this really long, drawn out accent. Not foghorn leghorn type accent, but
Yeah, I can tell the accents from that area.
Like my neurologist has an accent. Mr. SP, I do believe you'll work again. Yeah. So they work like whites, like white. They carry out that Y, the YI sound. So yeah. I mean, but in Atlanta, we're a transient town. That's where everybody, most of the people aren't from here. So they all settle here and become, so there's not a lot of accents left until you get to the suburbs and rural areas.
But yours is very strong.
Huh?
Yours is very strong.
For an American accent?
Yeah.
So I'm the one that you would typically hear on TV.
Yep. That's where it's coming from.
It's the Midwest accent. Compared to like accents in the rest of the country, I don't have much of one. What I do where I'm from is called dangling participles, where you would say hang your hat. I would say hang your hat up.
Okay. So like the Aussies that just simplify it.
Yeah. That we add an extra word to it. Pick that up, just pick it up, stuff like that. Or where are you at? It's just where are you? So we always have dangling participle. That's indicative of my area. I'm sure like the accents, because there's so many of them in this country that they would just drive you insane if you had to read their lips.
Yeah, we Manchester sort of area have a very accent-based. Devon, which is the toe of England, has a very soft accent. So yeah, it's more soft at the bottom. Then the more you go up north, the more stronger and deeper it is.
Okay. Well, hey, Oliver, thanks for meeting with me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to speak to you.
Yeah, and good luck with your sprint triathlon. Let me know if you want any advice about going up to a longer distance.
Yeah, I will do. I will definitely ask you for some long distance information, but I'm just currently sticking to the sprint sort of stuff at the moment.
What kind of bike are you riding?
I currently have a oh my god, it just went blank in my mind. A Cube Peloton at the moment, but I have been looking into Trek Madone, considering to buy that myself.
It's a good bike. So you're going to go with a road bike then?
Yeah, sticking to the road stuff. I did have a TT, but the problem I found was I'll do all my training on the road bike and then race on the race day on my TT, but I didn't feel fully comfortable riding my TT. So I thought I might just stick to the road bike and just upgrade my road bike and know it's going to work properly.
Now, how comfortable do you feel as a deaf person riding on the road if you don't have your implant on? Or do you just take it out and kind of hope for the best?
Training, I have it on, and on race, I just got to hope for the best and just hope that no cars behind me crash into me or people start talking to me. I just have to be very visual on what's happening.
Okay.
I do feel like my senses increase when I take off my cochlear implant, so I can feel a lot more when the cochlear is off, I reckon.
Okay. I got you. Well, thanks again, Oliver. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, guys, for watching another Sunday morning conversation. If you liked what you saw, please do like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of them, click the little bell notification and it'll tell you whenever I post another one. Thanks again, guys.